Good morning, everybody. Today we're going to go through another quick forecast. So, this is nothing to do with the current outbreak at all. This is just your typical end of the day, end of the week forecast. So, this will be going over the next 7 days. So, starting out, I don't know if you've been outside, it is very, very cold out there. So, what's happening is right here we have what's called an Arctic vortex, which is currently dominating almost the entirety of the United States. So the first question is of course okay, when is this pattern going to break down, right? And the good news is this pattern is not going to last for that much longer. Unlike some years where this pattern can actually set up and remain in place for weeks on end, it does appear that this is going to break apart fairly quickly. So clearly on Sunday through Monday, the pattern is still very positive. But notice that when you get to Tuesday, the circulation actually starts moving off to the east. And so it starts to kind of fall apart. And you notice one of the things that's going to be driving it to fall apart is this line right here. And this is actually a small low pressure system actually forcing much of the circulation this way. So on Tuesday, you're really going to see this start to break down. And then, of course, on Wednesday, Wednesday is likely going to be a lot warmer because you can see that it's just not much of the circulation. But what's interesting is watch this small shortwave trough. Watch this little wrinkle in there. That actually by Thursday is starting to reorganize into another Arctic high pattern. And you can kind of see by Friday you get that tight curvature, which is what causes that subsidence, or where that air is forced down from aloft, which actually cools the air in this area. Which I think if we grab a sounding, it'll be pretty easy to see. I hope, anyways. It's obviously the first time I'm seeing it. Yeah, so see right here, this is what's called a subsidence or inversion, which is where you have a high pressure pushing all of it down. So it reorganizes into this anticyclonic flow and starts forcing air downwards. And this colder air aloft cools the air towards the ground. And so on Friday, you're actually looking at another buildup of an Arctic high. But notice that by Saturday, that completely disappears. So very temporary feature. And so likely going to warm up with that. So that's really kind of what we're wanting to watch for the next couple of weeks is these Arctic high patterns. I mean, you can look like, okay, where's our convergence? Where's our diffluence? All those other kinematics. However, just in this deep winter environment, that doesn't matter, so I'm not going to talk about it. Alrighty, so associated with this, you'll notice that you have very strong warm air advection. So this is actually suggestive of a very strong warm front on Tuesday, like Tuesday evening into Wednesday. So there's going to be a possibility for some isentropic lifting there, which could definitely cause a little bit of snow, but because it's going to be so cold, there's not likely going to be a lot of snow. And then throughout the week, not much. Then you see a little bit of that cold air advection on Friday. Your actual temperatures, notice widespread negative 20s and in the teens across Minnesota. Monday, you can see, so right here is your Arctic high. You can see that it starts to move out of place. And so in the short term, this is going to actually cool your temperatures worse on Monday and Tuesday. But because it's moving, there's this chance for this warm air to advect from the western hemisphere. And so you can see right here, very strong warm air advection that's actually going to put a lot of places in the 20s even. Precipitation, again, there is that chance with that warm front moving through on Wednesday to bring some, but that's Gonna have some isotropic lifting associated with it, so it's likely not gonna be much, maybe like up to 2 inches. I don't expect much. And then your regional forecast, so this is gonna be for Rose City. Big surprise, -20 starting out. Warms a little bit to a high of about -9. Monday, you are going to see cold temperatures again. -15 is going to be your high, and your low is going to be like -23. Tuesday, we start to see that warm air advection midday, and so we're going to start out at about -12. Get a high at around midnight of 6 degrees, so just super warm weather, as we all know. And then Wednesday plateaus a little bit, and then the warm front continues to warm it all the way up to 23 degrees Fahrenheit for a high that day. And then you see a little bit of warmer temperatures return, only getting down to about -3 Thursday with a high of about 11 degrees Fahrenheit. So certainly not as cold, but Friday that Arctic high starts to build in again, and that's going to bring us down back to -6 degrees for a low, and then that's quickly going to dissipate, bringing us back to a high of about 12. Saturday, mostly flatline throughout the day, high of 18 degrees, getting down to 3 degrees towards the evening. And then Sunday, high of probably about 15 degrees, getting down to -6. So primarily cold air throughout the week, but certainly not as bad as Monday and Tuesday. Wind chills for Monday and Tuesday for Rose City is going to be near the -40s, and that's just because, especially on Tuesday, you're going to have very strong winds associated with that warm front, and so those higher winds are going to make it feel a lot colder than it is. Yeah, so primarily watch out for that very cold weather. I guess it is, so it is going to be kind of windy all week. I think that's kind of going to be the story. Wind gusts will routinely be above 15 miles an hour throughout the week. So with those colder temperatures, it's just going to feel really cold. And so for Morris, likely looking similar, starting out about -15, getting up to -3. On Monday, mostly flatline throughout the day, getting down to about -17. High of probably -10, so just lovely weather. Tuesday, starting out with a low of -15, and then with that strong warm front, bring you up to 9 degrees Fahrenheit. Wednesday, starting out at probably around 8 degrees, but that warm air advection brings you up to 26 degrees Fahrenheit on that day. Thursday, high is going to be around 15 degrees, and then it's going to plateau down to 1 degree around midnight for your low. Friday, that Arctic high builds in, bringing a temperature of -4 degrees for a low, and then some warm air advection after that dissipates will bring us up down to 14 degrees Fahrenheit for our high. Saturday, high of about 19 degrees, getting down to 9 degrees Fahrenheit, so fairly nice comparatively to what we're used to. Sunday starting out at 5 degrees for a low, and then getting up to 12 degrees for the high. Monday plateauing down to about -7 degrees Fahrenheit, but then getting back up to 18 degrees Fahrenheit. And again, isotropic lifting on Wednesday, Thursday could bring some snow. Likely, apparently a chance for some snow Friday, Saturday. That's likely just due to whatever kinematics in the atmosphere. That's likely not going to be very much. And then, yeah, again, high winds throughout the week, so just be ready for very cold temperatures throughout the week. So that is kind of your forecast for this week. So it's a very simple week to forecast because basically we're just discussing Arctic highs and whatnot. So it's very, very simple. So if you have any questions, just let me know. And thanks for watching this video. See you in the next one.